basically, to TLDR this post, they're asking, what do you think is a fair way for people at Intrepid to be able to play AshesofCreation once it's rolling? And I don't know if they know about name holding, because one of the things that they raised was somebody taking Steven's name, but that is per server. So what are your thoughts?
So I read that post, and my first thought was, have they seen Steven play the game? I don't think he's no, I like, obviously, and he's admitted he kind of dumbs down the he kind of dumbs down the gameplay a little bit, and he like it's what he said to make it more relatable for people just joining the stream. I don't have a problem with it. Like, I mean, I would have a problem maybe if people are just like it, but you're gonna have that everywhere. You're gonna have Asmongold playing the game. You're gonna have Shroud playing the game. They're gonna get handed stuff, right? Is that any worse? And I don't think Steven would take it, you know, or GMs would take just freebies, because I think they actually want to play their game. But you have streamers that come into these games and they get just gifted everything from their communities. Is that really worse? No, not at all, right? Like. So to me, that's not a problem. Like, let them play the game. They've worked hard on it, and they've said from the outset it's a passion project, which means they want to play it. They want to make a game that they want to play, and I get that. I helped develop a card game with a buddy of mine over the past year and a half. We're really into like strategy board games and stuff, and we started creating one, and that was our outset, was like, we want to create a game that we think is really fun. It was like a dungeon crawler card game, right? And it's actually kind of getting remodeled, and it might get published, but that was it. Like, I just want to play it, like, and I get that they would want to as well, and I wouldn't want them to not be able to play it. I don't know, I don't think there's a conflict of interest, as long as they, like, if you start seeing Steven lead a guild and they're getting world first everything, but even then, we don't know how competitive PvE is going to be yet in this game, right? And being PvX, I feel like limits how hard they can develop something. I think, at least, right? Because if you try to kill a boss that has really, really hard mechanics from a PvE standpoint, and you're also getting third partied by or fourth and fifth partied by other players, like, how hard can you really develop that boss? So I don't know. Yeah. I don't think I have a problem with it. I think it's fine. I think it'd be fun to run into GMs and names in the world, and but I mean, what do you guys think? What do you think? Like, again, obviously, like, Stevens and Margaret and other people aren't going to play on every server, so people, maybe they'll just ban it so you can't make those names on those servers, like, so you can falsify.
I would assume there's going to be a global name ban. Like, main characters in the story, like, those names are not going to be taken. Like, GM's names that they've been playing on stream so many times are not going to be able to be taken.
Yeah.
And they'll probably get first pick as far as blacklisting or claiming of names across every server for characters that they might want to play in the future. And more, I mean, honestly, I'm in support of it, to be honest. If they're making the game and going through all that, like, let them reserve a couple names, because they're going to want their name that they've been putting on stream for a while, as well as, maybe a private name to go hide and just play the game on their own too.
Yeah, they might not want to be recognized, Yeah,
it's not like, exactly.
They might just want to play it and see how it works from a random person standpoint. I love
live incognito.
Ashes of Nair comment. Money sign Steven, money sign Sharif.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's like, I like Basil's comment. I said Bagel. Basil's comment. No one better take my name. I'll become a PvP player real fast. I'm
gonna grief you until you give me my name.
yeah. But I think it'd be neat if they went around and played the game just like ordinary folks. They're just trying to play it, have fun, do nifty stuff. It would be neat if they were to have, and I forget if I just read this in the Reddit or if somebody had it in chat. There we are. Yeah, Mr. Valentine, their own server with a specific warning before joining moderator servers, because then they could actually just play as they want to, and even help each other experiment around with builds and stuff like that too.
Yeah. Mr. Valentine. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, if I was an Intrepid developer or employee and I was playing the game, I would actually want to probably play at random just to get honest feedback from people too, right? Like, which classes do people feel in the moment, overtuned, and which, what systems are not working, and you could get some really honest feedback if you don't have that name tag.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, Chibi.
All good. Mr. Valentine says, if I remember right, there have been issues in the past where GMs have boosted their guilds. In my opinion, I should know if a developer and GM were playing on the server. And I want to copy or pair that with what Raka says. I don't think we should be able to have GM in front or behind our names, as not to have people confuse us with non-GMs for GMs. Or us non-GMs for GMs. And I think that's also a very valid point, is like, I think honestly they have the capability of locking their name for every server, because if you can do it for one, I think they can do it for all of them. So that way, the player can't, pretend to be Luperza on one server versus another. And yes, while GM is a guild, I think guilds look differently from names. So if there happens to be like GM Steven or something like that, I think that is, yeah. The next...
I think I was just one last point to that. I think with the amount of transparency Intrepid have had for the most part over the past just 7 years, I don't have a reason to doubt that they wouldn't be transparent about that too, with their name before it, right? Before, if that's what they wanted to do. I mean, I guess at this point, I kind of just trust them, and maybe I shouldn't. We've been abused by game developers so much in the past, but for some reason I just kind of trust that they're not going to abuse it, because I think it's a passion project and they don't want it to fail, and that would be a huge controversy and that would drive players away.
Yeah. Also, I agree. El Chialde says, I wouldn't be surprised if the GMs will have just a character in every server by default. But
I mean, I would.
You would be surprised if a GM had a character on every server?
Well, I would do that.
Oh,
I would do that.
okay.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I would also have a character in every server.
Oh, yeah.
To be honest, I might anyway as a non-GM.